There is no excuse for President Trump's actions. The president took an oath to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Last week, there was a domestic threat at the door of the Capitol, and he did nothing to stop it. That is why, with a heavy heart and clear resolve, I will vote yes on these articles of impeachment.
That's Republican Congressman Dan Newhouse. He was one of 10 Republicans who voted in favor of impeaching President Trump, making it the most bipartisan impeachment vote in U.S. history. Never before have so many members of a president's party voted to impeach a president. Joining me now is CNN political commentator and former Republican Congressman Charlie Dent. So, Charlie, there's two ways to look at this, right? From someone's perspective like you. Glass half full, the most bipartisan for impeachment last time when it was 0. However, 197 still voted against it. So are you glass half full or glass half empty?
I'm actually glass half full. I wish more had voted for impeachment. But John, I think it's fair to say that there were many more House Republicans who supported impeachment than who actually voted for it. So we should be clear about that. That those 10 members who voted for it, I think, have a lot more support within the conference than people realize. Don Newhouse's simple eloquence, I think, stated it all, as did Jamie Herrera Butler's, who simply talked about truth over fear, and Don saying that Donald Trump, his actions were simply inexcusable. I mean, that kind of simple truth, I think, goes a long way with a lot of the members, even though others couldn't find it within themselves to support the impeachment resolution.
It got to 10. I mean, it goes a long way. It got to 10. I'm just not so sure that it matters how many of the other 197 in their heart of hearts may have agreed with them if they're not willing to vote.
Yeah, like I said, that is disappointing, but hey, it's a start. I am very pleased that we had these 10 stand up, including a freshman, Peter Meyer. He's in his 11th day in the U.S. House, votes for impeachment. I hope that this vote in the House will embolden senators now to convict. So let's see what the Senate does. And you also have, I think, a dynamic in the Senate where many of those senators seem to be even more angry with the president because he cost them the Senate, and of course of the events that occurred last week where the president did nothing. And so, and McConnell, of course, Senator McConnell, is also, sent a signal to his members that sounds like he could be supporting removal from office, and that's, I think, very encouraging.
On the other hand, there's already a movement in the House of Representatives to take Liz Cheney, Congresswoman Liz Cheney, who is the number 3 ranking House member, to take her conference chair title away. So, again, if there is this movement, and I don't know whether that's going to have majority support or not, why is that a good sign?
Well, I think a few of the more extreme voices within the conference want to take down Liz Cheney. But I think they're underestimating Liz Cheney's strength within the conference. Even a lot of those who voted against impeachment will not vote to sack Liz Cheney. I think many of them deeply respect her. And I think there is a fracture within the House Republican Conference. Those, again, Cheney representing the voice of how many felt, even if they didn't vote that way. And of course, the current leadership, top 2, were in the other camp. So I think Cheney's in a stronger position than some folks realize. Yes, there's a group. There'll be a few dozen who are going to want her head on a pike. But there are a lot of people in that conference who admire and respect her. And she is probably seen as the future leadership of the GOP.